Hello everyone, welcome back for some more Let's Read Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. We went on some lovely dates. Some interesting stuff I learned, and I love this because of memberships, because I can learn this stuff. One, that's apparently the last time we run into Mio, aka the daughter, of Goto Saiki, which is real curious, which means my Panther thing is either wrong or we won't know. Another fun thing that I discovered is her tent is absolutely there on the rooftop stage in Type Lumina. Yeah, if you go to the rooftop stage in Type Lumina, especially if you go to the day version, which was added in an update, yeah, her tent is there. So that's cool. That means it is the same rooftop on that stage as there. And apparently, one of the reasons that they put a lot of effort into the date scenes is Nasu did a replay of the original Tsukihime, and he said that the dates were so dire because you had one song throughout, just the stuff that happened in them wasn't great. So that's kind of funny. Anyways, we're gonna go to school, which is probably the worst place to go if you're skipping school. But okay. After finishing up our food and wandering around the main street for a while, we decided to go to my school. The idea came about when the sun was just about to set. Oh, okay, so the day is probably done? Without warning, Arcueid perked up and said something totally out of left field. Thought she was gonna say, if there was a man on the moon and he threw a rock and killed another man on the moon, wouldn't that be, messed up? Now imagine if they were sisters instead, and we're like, what does that mean, Arcueid? She's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Alt Rouge never. I'm not sure what she had in mind, but that wickedly disarming smile made me cave. God, Alt Rouge. We're days away from learning if she's going to be the next servant in FGO, and if she is, because they're really focusing on Fu from FGO, right? And Fu in the original Tsukihime timeline is owned by Alt Rouge, so it's whoa. We don't even know what she looks like. All we know is that she would look like Arcueid with dark hair and is eternally 14 apparently. Sure, okay. I'm gonna be honest, when we saw Mio, that's her name, right? Mio? Actually, is her name added to the sound options here? Yeah, Mio. Okay, so we get it added there. When I saw her, my brain kind of went to actually could that be... Oh, we have everyone now. Interesting, and his name is Carius. Okay. When I first saw her, I was could she... I'm I feel like I'd be told that she's Alt Rouge, but it's not. Anyways, I'm not sure what she had in mind, but that wickedly disarming smile made me cave. Because I would have known. People would have told me. That's not something that could sneak by. It's a little before 5. Due to our school's early dismissal and ban on club activities, there's no one around the main gate. I'd wager you could count the number of people left within the building on one hand. As long as we don't do anything conspicuous, I could probably take Arcueid as far as the courtyard. What if we run into Noelle? Oh my god. There's something about this face in particular where it looks, it's the eyebrows. This is a good face because those eyebrows up, she's like, don't worry about it. It's really good. Arcueid curiously glances through the gates to see what's going on inside. We'd better move. I can't think of anything more noticeable than a random blonde beauty loitering outside the gate. I mean, an armed gunman, but that's fine. You won't find those in Japan. Taking her by the hand. Ooh, buddy, getting a little... I just muted the mic by accident. That's why I cut out randomly. I'm adjusting my mic because I'm sitting up straight for some reason. And I have my mic set to be gremlin mode. There we go. Taking her by the hand, I lead her inside. Oh, she loves it. Oh, shoot. Yeah, this is a stage in Type Lumina. Oh, the school courtyard's here. Okay. Okay, I see. The courtyard is just as quiet as I'd expected. When I think of it, Arcueid actually came here once before. At the time, it felt like my heart was going to burst out of my chest. Looking back on it now, though, I can't help but smile. I mean, come on, this vampire strolls around in broad daylight and into my school, no less? You'd think there'd be a limit to her cluelessness. Whoa, we just went back in time. There we go. What's that?
気づいてるって何が？
学校のこと。私が見る限り誰もいないみたいだけど。
Oh, cool. Okay.
なんだって？
Wait, but maybe Noelle is here, and she's just concealing her presence. I look through the windows. The classrooms are empty, naturally, but I'm surprised to say the lights in the faculty room are also turned off. Arcueid's right. The place is totally empty aside from us. The main gate was still open, though. Could we have just missed the last staff member as we were heading into the courtyard?
ねえねえ、中には誰もいないんだよ。
We can run in the hallways. We can go into the opposite gender bathrooms just to see what they look like. Those are the things that I did when I was at school late alone. Oh, as I should say as a student, by the way. I should say like when I was like grade 1 and 2. I really got to preface because my stories of being a teacher and my stories of being a student are quite different. I should always preface which is which, you know? Yeah. Anyways, Arcueid looks at me expectantly. Somehow I know exactly what she's trying to say.
嫌です。
My outright refusal goes in one ear and out the other.
人がいないなら中に入っても怒られないわよね。いいタイミングで来たんだ、私たち。
I mean, honestly, not that it really even matters, because if something goes wrong, you can just use your eyes and be like, we weren't here.
だから金輪際嫌なんだって。
へえ、思ったより中は広いんだ。廊下も広いし、これなら十分使えそうね。
That's weird. Arcueid's voice just now sounded like it came from near the windows.
このドア開かないんだけど、壊しちゃっていいかな？
No. I take off at warp speed. Arcueid is standing in front of one of the windows, idly winding her arm in anticipation. Oh, she's getting one of those spin punches ready. I'm practically nauseous from panic as I run to intercept her before she actually punches the glass in.
なんで人の話を聞かないんだ、お前は!
There's no way I can unleash such a deranged vandal into our poor school. Even if I stand no chance of stopping her, I should at least try.
シキ、私校舎の中に入ってみたい。そこの入り口の鍵、殺してくれない？
殺してくれないって、お前な。
私がやるよりシキの方が綺麗でしょ？シキの切り口はどんな刃物にもできない切断面だもの。後になって誰かが見つけても救命できずでおしまいだよ。
And let's be real, things break down in schools extra fast. She eagerly gestures at the window.
たく、変に子供みたいなんだから。
I tilt my glasses a bit, peering just over the frame. Oh, look, a perfect line. It doesn't take long to locate the not that arc-shaped line that runs along the window's latch.
そう、都合よくあるんだもんな。
Slipping the knife out of my pocket, I smoothly sever the lock. Though I guess it's more accurate to say I kill the lock, which is just a fun sentence.
いいよ、ここから中に入ろう。
I open the window wide and we climb inside. May those that cleaned up after class forgive us. That's one thing teaching in Asia that it's like, that would never fly in North America. Having students stay after class to clean the room. Because like nowadays you have parents who complain, like, okay, let's say a kid throws garbage on the ground right in front of you and you say, hey, come on, pick that up. You can get a kid to say, no, my parents think it's demeaning for me to pick up garbage. And the parents will be like, yeah, no, that's the janitor's job. Like, you can't even get them to clean up after themselves. If they spill something in the room, they say, oh, it's demeaning to clean up. Meanwhile, in Japan and China and other places, it's like, yeah, no, after school, the kids clean up. That's personal responsibility. Because then if they make a mess, they have more work to do, right? I'm not sure if I should call it predictable or cliche, but the first place Arcueid wanted to see was my classroom, located on the 3rd floor.
式はここで何を習ってるの？
Social studies, apparently.
何って、世間一般の学生が習うことだよ。
I really hope they go into English and start speaking English to each other, because that'd be really funny.
歴史の勉強から自国の文化への深い造形。ついでに、物のあり方の理解度を深める物理や数学。ああ、いずれ諸外国に旅立つことも想定して、英語も教わっている。
Oh, please start talking to each other in English.
そうなんだ。式のことだから効率のいい人体解剖術とか刃物の扱い方を習ってるのかと思った。
I mean, those are parts of, a bio class. And honestly, the dissection classes, they were the most fun. Arcueid actually managed to land a good one there.
アルクエイド。お前、初めからここがどういうところだか知ってて言ってるだろ。
I love when she tells jokes with this face.
大当たり。
Arcueid gives me a round of applause as she laughs. It's always a struggle to figure out what's on her mind, but this time she's being especially incomprehensible. Coming to my school has nothing to do with vampire hunting, surely. Are you sure about that? What is she planning?
式。
Yeah, like, look, she's actually looking.
なんだよ、急に真面目な顔して。やっぱりここに連れ込んだのは訳ありなのか？
いえ、ここに来たことにさして理由はないわ。私はただ、ここでのことを聞きたいだけ。
ここでのことって、学校のことか？
そう。式はここで一日の半分を費やしているのよね。
All things considered, it feels more like 3/4.
そうまでした知識や経験は全て使い切ることがあるの？あなたは人生に不必要なことを学んで時間を浪費していたりするんじゃないの？
So, okay, this was a legitimate thing that I thought for a long time, and then I kind of figured it out. So, school isn't about learning what you learn in the actual classes, but it's about learning to learn. Because there's so many people who become adults and then never learn something new. They're either stuck in their ways or they refuse to go outside their bounds. And I think people forget about the process of learning, the process of trying, right? And so school is very important to get you ready for that. Basically what I'm saying is anyone who believes in unschooling can shove it.
はい。
Oh, if you don't know about unschooling, it's one of those things. Out of all her questions, this might be the one I have the most trouble grasping.
ここで習った知識や技術はあなたの人生において一度も使われないこともあるのよね。そういうのって無駄じゃないの？
まあ、確かに多くは無駄になるかもな。数学を習ってはいるけど、専門職に就かないのならそこまで活用はできないだろうし、生きていく上で使うのは算数までのレベルでいいし。
I do think the highest level math should be exclusive to people who need it though, because that sucks. I hate high level math.
国の歴史や英語を習ったところで、
No,
それをこ
history
の
is
先使うかどうかはわからない。
history is very
ア
important.
ルクエイドの言う通り、ここで過ごす時間の大半は
I'd
人生
say
にとって余分なものだよ。
history and a second language are two of the most important things because they are the few classes where you are forced to look at things from another perspective, which is a skill. It's a skill to put yourself in someone else's shoes, right? It's a skill to be able to, be told, okay, I need you to write a paper or do a news article about what a person living in this time would have been like, right? You need to be able to adjust your point of view. I feel like a lot of people who complain about translation and localization in games truly don't understand how different other languages are. You know, they think it's just everything can be done one-to-one, where it's like it's super not that simple. If you do any amount of time actually studying a language, and not like, you know, not just the basic stuff you do when you're forced to learn, you know, in America, Spanish, in Canada, French, right? But if you really go deeper into the language, you start to realize there are so many nuances to language that shape their way of life, you know? You think about how the Inuit people have 30 words for snow, right, to describe every type of snow because it's a part of their life. Meanwhile, like, how do you translate the word snow to someone in a country that doesn't have snow? That word wouldn't exist in their lexicon. Probably have to be a loan word, right? So those are important to be able to look at things from other people's perspectives, because that's a skill. And when you lose that skill, you kind of lose your humanity.
なんだ、ちゃんと気づいてたんだ。なら、どうしてそんな無駄なことをするの？
Well, for one, Arcueid, it's illegal to not be in school.
あなたたちの時間は短いんだから、そんなことをしている暇なんてないはずなのに。
It's a legal requirement, actually.
暇はないって。まあ、はっきりとした目的が今はないからね。
信じられないな。無駄だと分かっていながら、それを日々の糧にしているなんて。私には信じられない。
I don't know, there's also something beautiful about a daily routine. Because then you can plan for stuff. Arcueid's voice turns into a mutter. I don't quite understand why it's affecting her so much. All I can do is try to find a reply to her soliloquy. It's not a soliloquy, she's talking to someone else, buddy. Looks like he needs to spend more time in English class.
日々の稼か。けどさ、無駄ってそんなに悪いことかな。いいじゃないか、余分なことって。
To be human is to be inefficient.
ここで習ったことがここでしか使われなくっても、それはそれで日々の名残になるだろう。
It's true, right? As much as I hated math, I think back on it as a struggle I went through, right? I think of, you know, having to work with a tutor after hours, and I think about the genuine growth I went through, you know? I think about the time when my math teacher was arrested for looking down a girl's shirt. He also took me into the back room and screamed at me. Yeah. He was a bad one. But, boy, if it didn't give me a good story about the way gym teachers abuse power. Yeah, the Kamoshida storyline really hit me hard, by the way.
いつか年を取ってぼんやりと過ごしている時にさ、ああ、そんなこともあったなって苦笑しながら思い出せる出来事なら、それはそれで意味があるよ。
その思い出自体が無駄なことなのに、それを楽しく思い出せるっていうの？式は。
Yeah. Some of the most pointless moments are the most fondly remembered.
ああ、そのあたりは大丈夫。自分にとって都合の悪いものは思い出せないようにできてるんだよ。人生は無駄なことだらけだし、突き詰めて考えると生きてること自体が無駄じゃないか。その反対で無駄なことをするために人間は生きてるのかもしれない。
Lord knows the modern human's point of living isn't to procreate anymore. Because when are we gonna get time to do that? When are we gonna get money to do that?
だから俺はあんまり深刻にはならない。すべては無意味なことなんだって気づかないよう、ごまかしやっていくのが当たり前の生き方なんだと思うよ。
See, this is like the other side of nihilism. Like, it's still nihilism. Because there's a difference between everything is pointless, sad, and everything is pointless, so who cares? Live your life.
無駄だと認めた上で、それをこなすんだ。私は無駄なことはできない。今までだって必要なこと以外はやってこなかったから。
何言ってるんだ。それなら今日一日のことなんて無駄だらけじゃないか。アルクエイドの目的は吸血鬼を見つけることだろう。なら 俺と街を歩く必要なんてないし。
To be fair, to some people though, they might look at that and go, well, but it increased our relationship, which it would not be pointless, right? If she had a goal, right?
そうよね。それが私にもよくわからなくて、無駄しかないような式に質問してみたんだけど、余計わからなくなっちゃった。
はいはい、悪うございました。どうせ俺は無駄しかない人間だよ。
あ、ごめんね。式の言いたいことはわかるんだ。人間という種は価値基準を個人ではなく全体で持っている。だからこの間違いも全体が正しければ許してもらえる。あなたたちは最後に種が終わりを迎える瞬間にたった一つの答えを生み出すために反映できる。
I'm just trying to think right now. I wonder what Arcueid's opinion on Jesus Christ is. God, I'm sounding like CL.
けど私たちは個体だから。
Just going off of what she said there about the sins of a single person forgiving for the collective, right? But like, what about the opposite?
自分以外の意志を決して自身に反映させてはいけない。
Oh, and like, reminder, he existed and did all his miracles in the Nasuverse. We know that. Like, thanks, FGO Martha Christmas, we know he was real. Well, I mean, you look at all the servants with the Lance of Longinus to prove that.
だから余分なことはしちゃいけないんだなってずっと教えられてきた。
Oh, I love that. I love the sunset classroom. Ever so softly, Arcueid strings the words together like she's confessing to
で
something.
もわからなくなっちゃった。たった少し、たったの7日間だけなのに。私は正しいのかなって。だってすごく楽しいんだもの。こうしてるのが、生きているっていうのがただそれだけで嬉しいなんて今まで考えたこともなかった。私壊れちゃったのかな。
I think it's more like we fixed you. Well, broken as a vampire, but fixed as a humanity. Like, not human, but humanity, you know?
今までこんなに長く起きていたことがないから、本当はもうとっくに眠ってしまっていて、自分勝手な夢を見てしまっているだけなのかな。
I'm at a loss for words. There's no way I could even start to comprehend what things are like for her. I don't even have a clue what she's going through. All I know is that I hate seeing her like this.
壊れてるって何が？お前は普通に見えるけど。
外見はそうだろうけど、中身が違っちゃってるんだ。楽しいとか辛いとか、そんな余分な感情が今はとても大きくなってる。以前は無視できたものが無視できなくなっているなら、それは壊れてるということでしょ。それにね、私は普通じゃないよ。式とは違う。吸血鬼なんだから。
Loneliness is etched into her face, but she almost appears to be smiling. She looks fragile, like she might fade away into the sunset. Something's off here. None of this is right. Arcueid, bathed in the sunset's amber glow, is looking more frail than I've ever seen her. How can such a thing be real?
らしくないな。
This isn't how she's supposed to be. You're a vampire, goddammit. Don't you go looking all vulnerable and sweet like a normal girl?
無視できないとか、無駄なことをしているとか、気にするな。自分のことなんて真剣に考えてもいいことないぞ。何を迷ってるか知らないけど、お前はそのままでいいんだ。だって誰にも迷惑なんて。
そうかな。私、式によく怒鳴られるけど、あれは違うの？
I was gonna say, some people yell at the ones they love because they love them, and then I thought that's a really bad thing to say.
バカ、俺は例外。俺にはお前を殺した罪があるんだから。お前、だから、いいんだ。俺は好きでやってるんだから。俺にかける迷惑なんて考えないでくれ。
My words did little to alleviate the darkness in her eyes. Can't stand seeing her like this. She looks so defeated. I just want to pull her into my arms and hold her tight.
頼むから、もっとシャンとしてくれ、アルクエイド。そりゃお前はわがままだったり自由すぎたり手を焼かされるけど、それ以外の部分はまともだよ。壊れてなんかいないし、普通の女の子と変わらない。
I'm gonna be honest, buddy. None of that will make her happy. She'll focus on the stubborn, self-centered pain in the butt, and then, you know, other than that, you're all right. Don't say a girl is all right, and also don't just say you're just like every other regular girl. Don't say that. Don't say that, because you should be putting her slightly above.
だから、いつもみたいに笑ってくれ。お前にそんな顔をされると、こっちの気持ちが悪くなる。
ひどい言いようね。
Yeah.
私、そんなにわがままかな。
He did not choose the right words. I mean, he doesn't have much experience with this. It's obvious to tell. She mutters as she gives me a sideways glance. Damn it. I let my guard down. Oh wait, did the little princess really not realize how selfish she can be?
バカ、何言ってるんだお前。アルクエイドからわがままって単語を取ったらもう骨しか残らないぞ、骨しか。
Oh my god, dude. I only meant to poke a little fun at her, but I wind up laughing way too hard at my dumb joke. Just that I never dreamed I'd see her looking this bashful. Oops. She's angry.
シキのバカ、人が真剣に相談してるっていうのに、何よこの白状者。
No, she's right.
そりゃそうだよ。俺はお前以外には優しいって言ったじゃないか。白状なの今に始まったことじゃないし。
He's kinda awful. Man, it is true though. I can't help but snort in agreement. This is a better look for her. Pure and honest. None of that doom and gloom that plagued her earlier.
やっぱりお前は元気な方がいい。俺もなんだかほっとした。
なんでシキがホッとするの？私に対しては白状なんでしょ？あなたって。
いや、まあ、それはそうなんだけど。
I can deal with her dragging me around and being a general pain in my ass, but what I can't handle is seeing her so depressed. Whoa there. That's a dangerous train of thought to follow. She's pretty. She's a good person. So I'm not bored whenever we're together. But that's as far as this goes. I can't allow myself to develop feelings beyond that threshold. Buddy, I don't know what type of game you think you're in, but that's gonna happen. Get a hold of yourself, Shiki. It doesn't matter how cute she looks, she's still a vampire.
もう、はっきりしない人ね。自分で自分のこともわからないの？
さっきまで弱音吐いていた吸血鬼に言われたくない。いいんだ、俺は自分がわからなくて。おかしいって自覚はしてるし。いつも記憶が曖昧で貧血ばっかり起こしてるんだぞ。基本、自分のことさえ面倒見きれないんだよ。
そっか。だからシキはいつもぼーっとしてるんだ。
Arcueid nods wholeheartedly, as if she's finally figured something out. She accepts my makeshift excuse so readily that before I can even be mad, I find myself pondering if what she said could be true. For one, Akia does complain about me spacing out on a regular basis. I must look pretty unreliable from an outsider's point of view. Maybe it's because you have swaths of dialogue to yourself as you sit there and contemplate the situations. I know it doesn't actually happen in real time, but... Well, we can't stay in this classroom forever. It's time we headed back outside. Even if there's no one around, we shouldn't tempt fate in case one of the teachers comes back.
ほら、そろそろ出るぞ。もう用事はないんだろ。
うん。用事はないんだけど。シキ？
The theme starts. Yeah? I say with a glance. There's a moment of hesitation before she confronts me with her strangest question so far.
式には楽しいことってあるの？
今日は熱でもあるのですか、お姫様。
茶化さないで。私、少しはあなたの体のことを知っているわ。式だって分かっているんでしょ？自分の体がいつ死んでもおかしくないってことぐらい。
My jaw clenches tight at the sudden shift. A stinging sensation. My old scar feels like it's tightening.
まあ、そりゃ、人間はいつか死ぬ。
あなたの場合、人より早いでしょうけどね。
Her eyes are dead serious. But it's not like I'm the only one that could die easily. I've seen the lines of death that cover this world. Everybody is covered in vulnerabilities, spots that could render them dead in an instant.
どうしてかしらね。あなたを見ていると、時々、わけもなく怖くなる。だから聞かせて。そんな不安定な命で、楽しいと思える時があるの、式。
She's asking me if I enjoy my life? This girl really is so...
本当にバカだな。そんなの、俺にわかるはずがないじゃないか。
I couldn't possibly know whether my life is fun. A model sense of justice, a moral code deemed proper by society, a sense of humanity that prizes peace. Those were all gifted to me by Master, and they've been useful and integral in getting me through life so far. At my core, I'm less than human. From the beginning, I've never really grasped those sorts of vague ideas. But then there is one thing I can say with certainty. For a little while after I nearly died, probably while I was still undergoing surgery in the operating room, I think I found myself in total blackness. It's probably a dream, if anything, but at the time, I knew I was dead. I knew that the dark place around me was death itself. By some miracle, I was revived, and I got to meet Master and even regained some semblance of an ordinary life. For that, I'm forever grateful. There's something I didn't realize until after I died. This world we live in is so peaceful and so very beautiful. Even if my eyes try to deny it. I don't know whether I enjoy this life. I don't think I'll ever be able to say. As long as I have these eyes, death will be an ever-present stain. But even so, life is beautiful. Even if many people never find happiness, my past self knew that to be human means to derive joy simply from living. It feels so long ago now, but I'm sure that before the accident, I lived life to the fullest. So I can keep going, even after everything I've been shown. Well, great, I messed up the best line. So I can keep going, even after I've been shown that everything's pointless. I'm no longer the same person as before. It's hard to buy that my values and morals are even sincere. For Shiki Tono, the idea of joy died long ago. If you were to ask me whether I'm enjoying my life, I'd probably say yes, unless presented with something irrefutably to the contrary. No matter how terrible things get, I'm satisfied simply knowing that I'm alive. I don't need anyone to tell me this. Humans really do find meaning just in living their lives.
たださ、生きてるだけで楽しいんじゃないかな。今までが楽しかったから、これからもやっていこうって気になるんだ。きっと、そうに違いない。まあ、お前の質問に答えるとしたら、こんなところか。
Despite my confident demeanor, I actually feel pretty embarrassed putting it out in the open. After all, I've only got 17 years of life experience. If there's some kind of objective answer to a question like this, I'm not the one to ask. But when I look at the woman in front of me...
そっか。それが式の心なんだ。 そうしているだけで楽しいか。そうよね。余分なことだって分かっていても楽しいのなら切り捨てることはできないもの。私はそれが怖くてつまらないことを聞いたけど、今はそれが答えでいいかな。
With the sweetest of smiles, she embraces my immaturity.
なんだよ。さっきのことまだ引きずってたのか。
Oh, geez, listen to that swell.
そうだけど、とりあえずわだかまりは消えてくれたわ。だからこの町に救っている吸血鬼を倒すまでは迷わない。それまでシキと一緒に戦うよ。
Arcueid nods confidently, flashing that smile of hers again. Till we fight and defeat this vampire, huh?
そうだったな。俺とお前ってそういう関係だったっけ。
Today was an outlier. It made me completely forget that what we have is nothing like this.
なあ、アルクエイド。全部終わった後、吸血鬼を倒し終わったらさ、別れる前にもう一度だけこうして遊ばないか。
それどういうこと？
アルクエイドの目的が済んだら、もう一度ぐらい無駄なことをしようって言ったんだよ。結局俺とお前は協力し合っているから一緒にいるだけだろ。だから本当に何の義務もなくなった後、何の意味もなく会えたらどうなるかなって、そう思っただけ。
Though that's not my true motive. What I really want is for us to hang out as normal friends. And Arcueid could spend it. Oh, look at him in his default sprite. And Arcueid could spend a day having fun, making normal memories, not thinking about vampires. I think she'd enjoy that. That's. I mean, it's literally just reusing like an asset, but it's really well done.
まあ、お前が忙しいって言うんなら別にいいけど。
My mouth spouts the opposite of what my heart yearns to say. Arcueid's eyes briefly widen in shock. I love these camera angles.
全部終わったらまたここに来ようね、シキ。何の意味もないけど、それはきっとすごく楽しいよ。
With a bounce in her step and a brilliant smile, she turns my suggestion into a promise. Here in this classroom dyed in sunset, the image of her awash in hues outside of time will leave a lasting memory for the rest of my days. God, every sunset classroom with Kanoku Nasu is just chef's kiss. It fills you with joy. Maybe it's a real joy or a bittersweet joy. It's been both, right? Afterwards, she forced me to take her to the broadcasting room, the art room, and so on. By the time we finish our tour of the school, the sun has long since set. It's just past 7:30 now. Still a little early in the evening, but we might as well start hunting now.
すっかり暗くなったな。他に行くところもないし、そろそろ始めようか、アルクエイド。
もう行くの？まだ街は明るいよ。
早いに越したことはないだろう。昼間は十分に遊んだんだから、夜ぐらいはきちんと仕事をこなさないと。
シキって変に生真面目よね。そんなに真面目なのに、どうして昨日は約束を破ったりしたのかしら。
I couldn't move.
仕方ないだろう。
Yeah.
昨日は体が動かなかったんだから、直前までは公園に行くつもりだったんだ。
In hindsight, I was reckless to have even thought of meeting her in such a condition. I would have died. If Akia hadn't stopped me yesterday, I'm sure I would have dragged Arcueid down at some critical juncture.
ほー。
Or I could have been placed in a drawer? What was up with that?
じゃあそうしよっか。
なんだその顔。嫌な予感しかしないんだけど。なんだよ、そうしよっかって。
だからシキは公園に行くつもりだったんでしょ。まだ時間はあるんだし、昨日できなかったことなら今やり直せばいいじゃない。
You just want the ice cream. Arcueid takes off at a light jog. Seems like she's actually heading for the park.
待てってば。
I break out into a sprint just to make sure I don't lose sight of her. She just like move faster because she did that before where she was walking normal speed, but like she was moving faster.
ほら、なんだかんだ言ってちゃんとついてくるんだよね、式って。
バカ。お前を一人にすると何するかわからない。
Boy, every character that knows Shiki has anemia completely forgets about it and in fact makes his life harder. It's almost like living with a peanut allergy. Doesn't matter how many people know you have a peanut allergy, they're still gonna get you food with nuts in it and go, oh whoops, I forgot. I say that as someone with a peanut allergy who everyone always forgets about it. I register in my brain when someone has an allergy and it completely, like, I don't know, that's how I do it. I completely always make sure that if someone has an allergy, I don't get them something with that in it. My shoulders heave as I try to force air into my needy lungs. I thought that said nerdy lungs. I can't believe she actually made me run through all those crowds to catch up. She's really putting me through the ringer today.
でも、やっぱりこの時間だと人が多いのね。そこかしこに人の気配がして、ちょっと落ち着かないかな。
だからどうしてこっちの話を聞かないんだ。
そう？私、式の声はちゃんと聞いているつもりだけど。
そうか。聞こえていて無視しているとなると余計にたちが悪い。
無視もしてないよ。式の小言に返答すると決まってバカって言われるから黙ってるだけなんだけど。
そうか。それはこっちにも問題があったかもしれないか。
With some deep breaths, I finally get my breathing back in order. About 1.5 kilometers from the school to the park. That's a long way to sprint, buddy. It wasn't even that long of a run, but I still can't get my heart to stop racing. It's not that Arcueid was particularly fast either. If anything, she seemed to be going slow by her standards. Even my anemia is still acting up after yesterday. I don't exactly feel like I'm in the best of shape right now.
大丈夫？式。無理しないでベンチで休んだら？
そうする。体が落ち着いたら町の方に行くからな。
もう、式がやる気になってるのは嬉しいけど、まだ時間が早すぎるのよ。ブローブの時もそうだったけど、吸血鬼は自分たちの時間でなければむやみに活動はしないものなの。彼らはもっと夜の気配が濃くならないと活動しないから、しばらくは時間を潰さないとね。
Oh, night date? Are we doing a night date instead? Couldn't she have said so earlier? Yeah. I feel like that's important information to have, like an actual time. With nothing better to do, I stare at the park's clock from my spot on the bench. It appears to be a little past 9. The crowds are thinning out little by little as the night deepens. Arcueid doesn't sit down on the bench with me. Instead, she paces around aimlessly. Time simply passes. It's so silent. The bright moon tenderly bathes Arcueid in the park in its silver light.
月明かりか。
Yeah. That move heals you in Pokemon. I think back to 2 days ago when I was attacked in front of the Tono estate. If only the moon had been this bright back then I might have been able to get a good look at the assailant's face. Oh! Oh, right, we never told her in this one. I jump up from the bench.
式？どうしたの？死者でも見つけちゃった？
Yes, in the past in my brain.
そうじゃなくて、とんでもないことを忘れてた。
I can't believe myself. What the hell was I thinking? I was attacked on my way home. How the hell could I have forgotten about
ア
that?
ルクエイド、俺2日前の夜に変な奴に襲われた。
変なやつってどんなやつ？
それが
Once I've calmed down a bit, I run Arcueid through everything that happened in as much detail as possible.
というわけなんだけど。
Whoa. After catching her up, I peeked at Arcueid to gauge her reaction. From the start to finish, her eyes remained focused, her brow knit in silent
あ
consternation.
の黒い使者とノエル先生、代行者って言うんだな。あの人はお前の敵なのか？
そうね。両方とも私
Oh,
の
is this the
敵よ。
same conversation we had on the night I was dying? Just in a
そ
different
の
outfit?
黒い使者は何者か知らないけど、修道服を着た女のことなら見当はつく。
Arcueid narrows her eyes, struck with a foul mood. Though I'd say there's more to it, beneath her demeanor lies an irritation that pricks at her
式
nerves.
を助けた奴は確かに代行者でしょうね。念のために聞いておくけど、そいつ一人きりだった？
ああ、ノエル先生一人だったけど。
Thinking back, I faintly recall her saying that executors work in pairs.
そう。そいつの独断か、あるいは動けない理由があるのか。もう一人があの女だとしたら目障りね。
Don't worry, she seems to be fully out of this route.
あいつなら私より先に棺を見つけ出せるでしょうし。
Oh,
先にそっちを潰しておくか。
really? Arcueid's irritation levels are sky high. I'm not really sure why, but she clearly cannot stand Miss Noel's partner. I've seen Arcueid demonstrate hostility before. I've seen her act with full intent to kill, but I've never seen her display such blatant enmity. She must really loathe this woman.
アルクエイドにとってノエル先生が敵だっていうのはわかる。あっちもそう言っていたし。でも目的は同じなんだから協力し合えないのか？
まあね。場合によっては手を貸してあげることもあるわ。でも今回は絶対に無理。人間には譲らないし、もし代行者があの女ならまずそっちを始末してる。
We really won't be able to settle this peacefully, huh? It's probably best to abandon the idea of cooperating with Miss Noel.
OK。あっちとは協力しないんだな。お前がそう言うなら俺もこれ以上は言わない。理由は聞かないよ。
え？うん、ありがとう。なんかシキ、優しくない？いつもならもっとしつこく食い下がってくるのに。
I mean, we don't know anything about this,
お
so...
前が嫌がってるのは分かったからな。でもノエル先生との関係とノエル先生の背景については別問題だぞ。いいかげん
Ooh,
その代行者ってのは
whiteboard
何なの？
time?
そうね。余分な知識だから話さなかったけど、こうなった以上話しておくわ。以前も説明したけど、上司タイプの吸血鬼は己の存在を隠蔽しようとする。犠牲者を出しても周囲にそれを異常だと気がつかせないよう様々な魔術を働かせる。
Is this that other Melty Blood stage from Type Lumina? I think it is. I've always wondered what that is.
これどうしてだかわかる？
外敵を呼び込まないためだっけ？派手にやるとやってくるんだろう。吸血鬼退治の専門家たちが。
I mean, I guess there's the police, but it's not like vampires actually view them as a threat. It's not like they have noble phantasms or anything. The poor guys facing off against Vlav proved that point all too clearly. The only thing a vampire fears is a monster of the same caliber.
そう。
A Catholic.
吸血鬼には天敵がいる。それも今ではパワーバランスはあっちの方が上っていう殺し屋みたいな集団がね。吸血鬼たちが人間を秘密裏に搾取するのは自己保身のためよ。彼らは社会的な風文ではなく、その天敵に嗅ぎつけられることを嫌って自然に死体を隠蔽する。
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the church that I'd call a natural predator. Ayo. Scathing remarks here.
それがノエル先生みたいな連中。
Yeah, she's definitely a predator. We see that firsthand.
吸血鬼たちの天敵ってまた化け物じみたのが出てきたな。
As an unremarkable human being, I could do with fewer aberrations getting mixed up in my day-to-day life.
何言ってるのよ。確かに代行者は人間離れしているけど、彼らはどこまで行っても人間よ。吸血鬼、使徒の天敵というのは、あなたたち人間そのものなんだから。
天敵って俺たちが？
Even though we're essentially helpless livestock for them to feed on?
もうずっと昔、西暦が始まったばかりの頃。
You're talking about yeah, 0, okay. Is that the Vatican? I don't know what church that is. Is that Notre Dame? I don't know.
人間は様々な魔術、神秘学、式典儀礼をもとに組織体系を作り、人間以外の霊長類を排除し始めた。
Oh, right, the end of the Age of Gods, yeah.
その最たるものが聖堂教会、普遍的という名を掲げた欧州の一大宗教よ。彼らは昔から人間でないものを徹底的に淘汰してきたけど、その中でも吸血鬼に対する敵視はどうかしているわ。世界中のどんな宗教を見たって、教会以上に吸血鬼を敵視している宗教は、
That's true in our world too, honestly.
あれはね、すでに疲れてる。病的すぎる。この私でさえできるなら関わりたくないぐらいだもの。
Arcueid's sighs in exasperation. Seems she's had her fair share of run-ins with the church. After all, whenever I can help it would imply there are times she can't.
で、死期を助けたのはその中でも異端狩りを専門としている連中よ。主の教えを代行するという役割からエクスキューターって呼ばれてる。教会の矛盾点を法ではなく力で処理する。決して表には出てこない殺し屋みたいなエクソシスト。
Exorcist by name, assassin by trade, that's pretty strong. Exorcists, purgers of demons, or vampire-slaying priests in this case. I'm so captivated by the idea because it's chuny as hell. I don't even know what to say.
ま、ただの代行者なら可愛いものだけど、これが埋葬機関の代行者になると話は違ってくる。あいつらは使徒を捕獲するためなら手段を選ばない。もし派遣された代行者がそっちだったら、ブローブが暴れる前にこの町は地図から消えていたかもね。
ブローブ以上ってそんなに見境なしなのか。
ええ。連中は相手が吸血鬼であるのなら、何をしても許される権限を持っている。それは使徒に狙われた町も同じ。まだ人間が生活していようが、すでに汚れた土地ならもろともに焼き尽くす。
And if you want to see this in action, watch Fate Zero.
そのノエルって代行者が今まで何もしなかったのは、私と使徒を同時に始末する機会を伺っていたんでしょうね。埋葬機関にとって人間ではない霊長はそれだけで悪だから。
That unfortunately includes people who love the people the same gender as them, which is yikes. Arcueid practically spits out all the words before beginning to pace around. Feels like this just got a lot more complicated. Arcueid isn't just targeted by other vampires. She's also being hunted by those who consider every vampire their enemy.
なんだよ。それじゃ一人きりじゃないか。あいつ。
Watch over Arcueid as she wanders to and fro. This, oh my god. Bro, you want to talk like cinematography? It's called internal framing. And like, it's literally a film technique used to show someone is alone. I mean, and when you point it out, you go like, yeah, of course. But it's one of those things that, for some people, they don't notice until you point it out, right? It's literally, look at her. She's enclosed. She's in a labyrinth, right? That's what it looks like. Under the brilliant moonlight, she looks like a lost child with no place to call home. Dang, that's some... It's definitely not as far as Mihoyo goes in terms of what it does, but it does do some good stuff still. And that makes me think once they're more accustomed to it with, from this onto Red Garden, we're going to see some good stuff. We're going to see some good stuff in that, I think. The hands on the clock steadily press on. Before I knew it, a full 2 hours has passed since we came to the park. I'm all rested up and the park has grown totally empty. It's time for the denizens of the night to come out to play, whether they be human or not.
アルクエド、そろそろいいんじゃないか。
そうね。そろそろいいと思う。
Despite what she says, her mind seems occupied by something else.
さっきからおかしいぞ、アルクエド。昨日乗らないことでもあったのか。
そういうわけじゃないけど、シキが話してくれた黒い死者のことがちょっと引っかかって。
Mm-hmm. We didn't bring up the eyes part. Well, as he said, he thinks it might just be conjecture, right? A coincidence, but her usual enthusiasm is nowhere to be seen. Just as I'm about to ask what's bothering her, she breaks the silence.
あ、そういえばね、シキ。私、昨日ここでナンパされたのよ。
Well, great. Now he's never gonna leave you alone. Shiki,
はい。
talk about mood whiplash. This girl's got all the consistency of a kaleidoscope.
ごめん、ちょっと意味がわからない。
だから昨日ここで式を待っている間、男の人に声をかけられたって言ってるの。
いや、何が起きたのかはわかるんだが、お前、黒い死者について考え事してるんじゃなかったのか。
してたわよ。だから思い出したの。式が襲われたみたいに私も男の人に声をかけられたなって。
They're equivalent in terms of scumminess, you know.
なるほど。そりゃよかった。確かに外見だけならお前は美人だ
On
から
the
な。
outside, come on, dude.
まっとうな感性と驚嘆に値する胆力を持つ男なら声の一つぐらいかけるさ。
やっぱり私も最初は敵かなって思ったんだけど、式が言ってたじゃない。だからしばらく出方を伺ってたらただの人間だって分かったわ。まさに間一髪ね、あの人。ほら、昨夜の私、誰かさんのおかげでちょっとイライラしてたから。
Just slices him up.
ちょっと待って、まさかとは思うけど、ナンパしに来た男をだな。
She's like, I used my mystic eyes to make him shit himself right there.
何もしなかったよ。ちょっとだけ話して私のことを忘れてもらっただけだから。その式の言葉を思い出さなかったらどうにかしてたかもしれないけど。
That guy's name? Mato Shinji.
そうか、偉いぞアルクエイド。お前にも分別ってものがあったんだ。
当然でしょ。私を怒らせるなんて式ぐらいのものだもの。他の誰にも私を殺したり助けたりしてくれる人はいないんだから。
This whole part is just full of adorable things with her. Her voice is clear and full of trust. I'm losing track of how many times that carefree smile of hers has caught me off guard.
そりゃまあ、誰だって殺されれば頭にくる。
I managed to respond and avert my gaze from Arcueid's wandering. A month ago, back when there were no serial killers to worry about, this park would have been filled with young couples and students hanging out on their way home. Now it's just the two of us. And for just this moment, vampires and lines of death are on the back burner. Here we are, idling around a moonlit park. It was the most natural thing in the world.
あ、ねえほら。
I glance up when she calls out to me.
なんだよ、何かあった？
ほらあの時計、これでちょうど時間になったね。
Arcueid points at the park's clock with a satisfied smile. She's right, it's exactly 10 o'clock. The time we promised to meet. A promise that I broke. And here we are, in the very place where I left her all alone. The word seems stuck in my throat, though I can't say why. Why did such a small thing make my heart skip a beat? Why does such a small thing make her look so happy? I really don't know. We spent the entire day walking around town together, and I never once felt like she was some terrifying vampire.
一つ聞くけど。
Stop this, Shiki.
何？
お前ってさ。
Don't bother with such meaningless bullshit.
私が何？
本当に吸血鬼なのかなって。
What sort of answer are you expecting, you idiot?
吸血鬼なのかって。シキ、今さら何を言ってるの？
今更じゃない。今になってそう思っただけだ。
I avert my eyes.
はあ、シキって頭が柔らかいんだか硬いんだか。私は気にしないけど、それってひどい侮辱よ。何を根拠にそんなことを言うのか聞かせて。
What indeed? I don't have anything to base it on. But she hasn't proven that she's a vampire either. Let's ignore the photographs of her that I took that don't exist. Which is why.
だって、お前は血を見るのも嫌なんだろう。そんな吸血鬼がいるもんか。自分で半人前だと言ってたけど、血を吸ったことのない吸血鬼なんて。
Why are you pursuing this, buddy? Where are you going? You know that isn't true. You just don't want her to be one.
そう。ならシキ、ベンチから立ってこっちに来て。
Arcueid's voice is flat and emotionless. I get up and walk over, just as she says. Our eyes meet. A mere 2 meters separates us. And then, Arcueid lets out a deep sigh before seemingly forcing a smile.
そうだよね。私も本当はそう思ってたんだ。果たして、アルクエイド・ブリュンスタットは本当に吸血鬼なのでしょうかって。
Thank God. Tension leaves my shoulders as I sigh in relief. I was so afraid that my question would have hurt her feelings. But Arcueid shrugs it off like it was a joke. We're all good, buddy. You said she forced a smile. I don't think we are.
だよな。アルクエイドはどう見ても吸血鬼らしくない。
じゃあ、試してみよっか。
Arcueid flashes me a smile filled with mischief.
ああ、そうだな。なんなら
私が本当に血を吸えるのかどうか。もしできたら、何かご褒美くれる？シキ。
Ever so slowly, Arcueid approaches me with a mischievous grin. The sound of her footsteps reverberates through the air. The woman in white closes in on me. We both know it's just a joke. I know it's just a joke, yet I can no longer move my body. Can't even say it. It isn't her power that prevents me from speaking. I seem to have swallowed the word of my own accord. She's still approaching me, step by step, bit by bit. Her advance is unceasing. I'm paralyzed, utterly enraptured by her lush lips as they inch ever closer.
シキは私のことを半人前だって言ったけど。
Her sweet voice echoes around the back of my mind. One last footfall. Tap. She's about to come. Let me try that again. She's come to a halt in front of me. I should read the sentences in front of me in the game.
本当はね、血を吸うのなんて簡単だよ。
Her voice hums against my ear. Oh! I feel her breath, her fingers, her weight presses into my shoulders, into my entire being. My senses, my mind drown in the cacophony of my beating heart. I want her. I want her. I want her. I want her. I fight to suppress the desires that rage within my chest. It takes everything I have to keep still. There, whoa. This scene is shot like it's erotic. Like, look at it. Wow. Wow, that's really brilliant. To keep my trembling left arm from reaching around her back. To stop my starving right arm from pulling her close. I want her so bad, she's irresistible, but even so I can't allow myself to desire her. Because everything is different from last time. Is stronger, more intense. Even the thing I crave is fundamentally different now. I don't want to kill her. It's a different impulse that's driving me insane here. that I shouldn't sully her courage with something so vulgar. Clenching my jaw so hard I might shatter my own molars, I swallow the feeling bubbling within me. The struggle lasts no more than a second. During that time, Arcueid neither moves nor flinches. A chill runs through my spine. It's just a joke, she's just having some fun at my expense. And why does her breath feel so hot against my neck, like a fever fanning a flame beneath my skin? Again, it's intentionally meant to be a facsimile of eroticism. I try to say her name, but I shut my mouth before I can finish. Even the way that, even in what they're writing, you know? Speaking now would be a rejection of my faith in her. It's over anyway. Any moment now, she'll pull back with a loud laugh and be back to regular old Arcueid. She'll smile and say that there was no way she'd drink my blood. Instead, her weight shifts against me. Her soft touch turns sharp as the sting of her nails presses into my shoulder. Her pale fingers tremble as she clutches at me. She's scared. My own thoughts don't register fear, not yet anyway. They're pure, blank nothingness. But Arcueid is trembling more and more. Her breathing grows ragged. Arcueid's breath is nearly flush against my skin, yet she feels so far away. I can't see her face. But I can feel her breath on my neck, her weight as her trembling body clings tighter and tighter to my own. Her slow, labored breathing grows increasingly rapid until I can feel the heaviness of her desperate panting against my flesh. So, once again, Nasu can't write sex, but he can write eroticism. And, like, this is absolutely meant to be going off of that. Unable to help it anymore, I'm forced to call out to her.
冗談なのに
Her voice trembles, but her body no longer shakes and her fingers grip my shoulders with newfound ferocity. I wince from the pain. Even though I don't wish to move, my body reflexively desires to get away from... What? But Arcueid's grip doesn't weaken. Her nails dig into my flesh like a vice, firmly locking me in place.
ごめん。悪ふざけが過ぎた。からかって悪かった。から離れてくれないか。
しき
Her grip doesn't loosen at all. This is bad. It's wrong. But who is it taboo for? Alarm bells ring out in my mind. My body pulls back with everything it can muster. Oh man. But I'm too late. Everything is too late. Since when? Now? Or 5 minutes ago? A day ago? Or perhaps on the first time we met? Sorry, what was that? What was that? Was that meant to be his arm with the knife? Because it certainly looked like something else, buddy. Her heavy breaths reverberate past my neck and into my brain. They convey her arousal like a wave of cascading neurons. Yeah. An echo of crude, instinctual longing strokes my earlobe. There's no need for brute strength. Her honeyed voice is enough as it carries the words.
あなたが欲しく
That looks like a Pinor. My flesh and spirit melt away under her. Against the nape of my neck, I feel a mad, desperate sigh. And in that moment... Oh, whoa! That's raw! Holy crap. Okay. My sanity collapses. It's a primal fear, an unassailable power, a law unto itself, a being with whom I could never share an understanding. Its eyes swirl like tempests, its maws lined with jagged peaks. This deflection of raw power, cold and unyielding as a waterfall, forbids all exchange of thought. That thing that's about to sink its fangs into my neck is not the woman I know, but the barest essence lurking within her core. And I've been returned to the natural order, to the let me try this again. And I've been returned to the natural order, to the primordial state from whence we all spawned. I can't do anything. I can't move a single muscle. She's going to devour me. So this is what it means to become prey. Before a being of this magnitude, humans are mere drops of water waiting to be gulped. Oh my god! Its fangs pierce my skin. Fear is all I know. Holy crap, is that new Berserker text? It moved. Whoa, new Berserker text tech. I scream. Loudly enough to notice how pitiful I sound. In that moment, I'm not sure if I imagined it, but it felt like Arcueid stopped just as I screamed. Oh! Oh! Yet before I can check, a violent noise whistles past us and Arcueid is knocked back as if blown away by a gale of wind. Dang, you look kind of cute in that outfit. I've never seen you with the actual nun hat on. What's that called? I don't know. I have nuns in my family, I should know.
Hi, konbanwa.
Yeah, okay, you look really cute. Noelle comes to my side, but her eyes remain fixated toward where she launched Arcueid. Arcueid is okay. Despite having been launched a good 10 meters, she doesn't have a scratch on her. She seems dazed. As I am, actually. I don't know what I should be doing. I can't even think straight. Before I can collect myself. Wait, you're gonna kill me? Oh no, you put me into the dunce corner. Walls of shimmering white spring forth. Thankfully, this only lasts 3 turns. Before I could even realize it, Noelle had planted 3 blades in the ground around me. The light stretches between each sword, pivoting off the blade and trapping me within a triangular prison. She's really cute in that outfit. Dang. Pillar of salt. You were perfect for Melty. Arcueid slowly pulls herself up. Wait, I'm trying to remember, because instead it would have been we would have fought CL here, but did she instead do the pinning your shadow to the ground thing? Huh. She eyes me in the newly constructed prison, then turns her attention to the nun at my side. Iron Boar. That's the name of your nails? Arcueid's demeanor shifts. That's a very different face for Noelle. I'll be honest, the bags under the eyes are doing a lot for me. Oh my god. There's something off about her eyes. They swirl with malice, threatening to pierce the nun's heart. Oh my god! Oh, that art is so good. Oh my god, yeah, me too. It's Super Mario. Huh, okay. Oh my god. What's going on? Actually, I have an idea what's going on. I've seen Mario Super. She leaps at Arcueid unnaturally, like she was given a push in the back. It's no contest. There's zero chance of getting Arcueid with a move like that.
式を離して。
Arcueid rushes at her, palm wide open as if preparing to swat a fly. What the hell? How could she possibly have blocked Arcueid's attack after such a half-hearted charge? I love visual novel fights. They're so evocative because in your brain you fill in all the blanks, you know? It's great. Huh. Not far from me, I hear someone speaking, the sound of their voice contrasting oddly with their choice of words. Though I might not be able to move my body, I can at least turn my gaze. There I spot him. The same foreign kid I met outside the Tono mansion the other day. Ah, there they are, yeah. Each of his hands is outfitted with some kind of gauntlet. These are cool looking. These are so cool. His fingers undulate, producing a mechanical clack with every twitch. The noise reminds me of an old-fashioned typewriter. It's a shame that he doesn't have those noises in Type Lumina. Of course he's racist. Every time a foreigner appears. You must be talking to me. But what did marionettes have to do with this? Those are the dolls you sometimes see during street performances where the performer strings them up and makes them look alive. Oop, there she goes. That was one hell of a fight. Arcueid is still heaving with exhaustion when the nun flees, but she finally has the time to look towards the barrier of light. Towards me. Don't worry about that. I need background art for my thumbnails. Her eyes shine a bright crimson. Her breathing is ragged and her back is arched like a predator, ready to pounce at any moment. And you might be like, well, didn't you have the wonderful CG of Arcueid like down like that? But I feel like that's better to not spoil, you know?
ひでえもんだ。そこいらのグールと大差ねえじゃねえか。それでも最後の真相かよ、姫様。ラウレンティスのジジイが見たらさぞ失望するだろうぜ。
Alright, so I was confused about Laurentis. I've now been confirmed that Laurentis is the Pope. And he was specifically, interestingly, I think someone said the Pope that was mentioned during Fate Extra. So, yeah, interesting. I would have lined up for timeline-wise too, so. Sanity returns to her eyes. Seeing his chance, the kid steps closer to Arcueid.
お初にお目にかかる。東方慰問司祭代行、マリオ・ジャッロ・ベスティーノだ。
Giallo? Giallo? Wouldn't it be Gallo? I've always said Mario Gallo Bestino. But I don't know. I don't know enough with Italian G and J, you know?
役職の高さには突っ込まないでくれ。言いたくねえが、ジジイの何人目かの便宜上の養子ってやつでね。
Which old man? The Pope? Are you a kid that the Pope adopted? Looking... He's really dressed like a Kingdom Hearts character too, by the way.
そう。この国の代行者の司令塔。
ああ、赴任したばかりだがな。親の七光だろうと役職は役職だ。俺の島で勝手はさせねえ。特に真相が間落ちする不始末なんざクソを食うよりごめんでね。
Arcueid's will to fight seems to have been snuffed out like a candle, though that might actually be fear reflecting in her eyes.
ようやく自覚したか。このガキの血を吸って殺そうとしたんだよ、あんたは。真相だなんだと選ぶっておいても、 所詮は吸血種だな。同族である吸血鬼を滅ぼして回ろうが、同じ怪物であることに変わりはねえってわけだ。
違う。私は四季を殺そうだなんて思ってない。
I don't know, you look like you're coming pretty close.
何かまととぶってやがる。殺意の
Oh my
話じゃ
god,
ねえ。
yeah, okay, he's got a
生態として当然の話
got a
だ
bit of a
ろ。
lip.
いるだけで迷惑な生き物だって自覚はどこに行った。このガキがあんたの本性を見てどんな声を上げたのか理解できなかったわけじゃねえよな。
Like, okay, but here's the thing. Like, I'm picking up some words and stuff. Yeah, I know he's speaking super disrespectfully in Japanese, and that's, I guess, the best way to translate that.
本気で我が目を疑うぜ。痛いところを突かれれば逆ギレかよ。じじい曰く冷徹な兵器だって話だったが、まるっきり不出来な人間じゃねえか。
Oh my god.
まあいい。その目、その狂眼をあんたは
Oh my god
受けたんだよ。ぜいぜいとみっともなく男にこびる娼婦みたいにな。その時の感想を本人に聞いてやろうか。
Oh, the boy, Mario, turns my way. I'm sorry. I know it's a normal name, but I cannot think of a name that has not been so ruined, because like I can't read it without like just imagining him looking over and going, "Here we go." His gaze pierces my chest, momentarily taking my breath away. Despite his foul tongue, he does have a certain righteousness to him.
出番だぜと。
Oh my god, that face.
感想を聞かせてやれ。僕、危うく一口で食べられるところでした。ちびりそうなぐらい怖かったですってな。
There may have been some wetness involved. More than anything, I want to scream at him and tell him he's wrong, but I stop myself short. Denying it would be the same as lying, which I never do apparently. I was scared shitless. Passing it off as any less would hurt Arcueid more than any lie ever could. There's hurt in Arcueid's eyes as she averts her gaze.
司祭代行の言う通りです。下がりなさい吸血鬼。あなたのような怪物が人間と共にいるなんて許されるとでも思っていたのですか？力に任せて人間を従わせる。吸血鬼らしい下びた考えだけど、そうはさせないわ。私たちに感謝しなさい、四季君。危うく吸血鬼にされるところだったんだから。
No, you're wrong. Sure, I was scared, I can't deny that. But that's not what was happening. I never once felt forced. She always respected my free will. She didn't force me into anything. I was with Arcueid because I wanted to be, not because anyone told me to.
違う。なんだよあんたら。いきなり出てきて全部わかってるようなことを言って。アルクエイドは血を吸ったことなんて一度もない。さっきのはただの冗談だ。
We were just having a giggle.
何を言っているんです？一度も血を吸ったことがないですって？そんなざれ言を信じろとでも？確かにそこの神祖は優秀よ。ここ800年ほど犠牲者を出した記録もない。けどそんなのは。
うるさい。そんな話なんてどうでもいい。いいか、アルクエイドの邪魔をするならあんたらが何であろうと許さない。大体俺本人が好きでアルクエイド
Oh,
と一緒
she's
にいるんだ。
blushing real hard.
外野にとやかく言われる筋合いはない。
はあ？許さないですって。
Oh man. It's wild because like this sprite looks like it was made just for her to go, huh? Like it's the perfect face for it. Noelle's voice is laced with an emotion I can't quite place. A fraction of the malevolence she'd been directing at Arcueid shifts my way. Still gripping her sword, she approaches me until...
おい、豚ノエル。
Porky? Porky? He did call her a pig. Buta. Buta means pig, right?
はあ？豚って言いました？
Yeah. Wait, no, never mind. I've seen the art that I got commissioned for on that one part. No, you're right. No, you're right. That word
え
fits.
るかあなた口悪すぎ。お偉いさんのボンボンだからってあんまり調子に乗る。
Oh no. Oh no, what is going on? I do like the keyboard spam. That's a good way to translate getting electrocuted. The nun lets out a strange yelp and starts hopping up and down. All her hostility disappears like a leaf on the breeze. I'm starting to understand what that power balance is like here.
うちの脳筋がちゃちゃ入れてマジすまん。
Chicken soup
チ
for
キンのくせに沸点
brains.
低いんだこいつ。後で
Wait.
焼き入れとくから多めに見てやってくれ。
Okay, hold up, wait. For a flightless bird, there's no way that in the chicken part, those have to be references to the fact that everyone called her a seagull when she got hit in Type Lumina, to the point that her getting hit cries had to be turned down.
だが
That's
な
really funny.
バカはバカなりにいい言葉を引き出した。一度も血を吸っていないとは泣かせるじゃねえか、トーノ。なあ、そうだろ。アルクエイド・ブリュンスタット。
アルクエイド。
Arcueid doesn't answer. She just hangs her head and bites her lip. It's as if she's acknowledging that what he says is true.
あと訂正な。このガキにかけた結界は捕まえるためじゃねえ。今ここにいるおっかねえモンスターから守るために仕方なく。この意味、口にしなくてもわかるよな。
Arcueid lifts her head. I'm sorry. She barely whispers the words. Next moment, she's fled into the dark of night. So, how do I get home?
ふざ。
Let's just see here. Where are we on the flow chart? Okay, so yeah, there was no choices throughout all that. Just to be careful, because even, no choices, but it could have even been alternate paths based on previous choices. I find myself shouting. Looking up at the moon, I move my glasses so I can see the lines.
きんな。
With a single slash, I kill two of the swords keeping me captive. My thoughts are a mess. Those fangs that almost... my own screaming. These outsiders and their self-righteous garbage. I can't deny it, but...
ごめんなさいって。それじゃ、まるで。
if all she can do is run away with that pained look on her face, wouldn't that mean these jerks are right?
てめえも短絡思考だな。追いかける前に例の一つも言っとくもんだぜ、クソガキ。
Oh my god. I don't know. I feel like that's a bit stronger than Kusogaki, because that's that just means shitty kid pretty much, right? Right? I feel like that's a lot stronger.
お前。
The kid, Mario, doesn't block my path, but he does call out to me before I make a run for it.
なんて言うか。お前さえ、お前たちさえ来なければ、アルクエイドは何もなかったんだから。
あ？本気で言ってんのか？それともやけか？どっちにしろそこの噴水に頭突っ込んでこい。しらけ切った嘘なんざつきやがって。それであの女が救えるのかよ、てめえ。
Crude as they are, his words snap me back to reality. By pure chance, they struck me right where they needed to. But it's just as he said. What point is there in telling a lie that even I don't believe? The kid is right. He'll only end up hurting Arcueid and destroying me in the process. Taking a deep breath, I suppress my need to chase after Arcueid.
そうだな。悔しいけどその通りだ。助かった。アルクエイドを助けてくれて、礼を言う。
Shelving my distrust for the time being, I bow my head to the two of them.
いいぜ、気が変わった。ちょっと話聞いてけ、トーノ。
Really?
いや、違うな。俺が話を聞きたいのか。まあいい、どっちも同じだ。ほら、こっち来な。
So am I correct in saying that Mario's voice is the same as Mordred in Fate? I think so. Mario Bestino voice actor. Let's see here. Ayane Sakura, which is Lene in Under Night in Birth. No, Musashi. And Ochako in My Hero? Are you serious? Really? That is not who I would have put together. I can hear I can definitely hear Musashi. Definitely. That's one I can hear for sure. Boy, yeah, Ochako. Oh, and Yotsuba from Quintessential Quintuplets. Boy, though, wow. Oh, and Mev in Fate. Wow, okay, some of these voices are... Oh, and Sakura Amamiya from the Shin Sakura Wars. Okay. You have a couple sides to your speaking. Yeah, those are two very different voices. Let's see if there's anyone else, because you've done a lot of stuff. Also, someone named Sakura voicing Sakura Wars is crazy. Was that on purpose? Did they do that because it's like too perfect? Yeah, so in Fate Grand Order, Musashi Mev and Mochizuki Chiyome. Not enough Chiyome voice acting to really have a call on that, but okay. Yeah, no, I was wrong about that. Sounded similar though. Not a lot of young boys. This is actually a fairly different role type for her. Okay, okay. Mario saunters over to one of the park benches. Swallowing a deep breath, I follow after him. Honestly, I'd rather chase after Arcueid with everything I've got. In my heart of hearts, I know it wouldn't solve anything, and I have a feeling he knows what I should be doing instead.
代行私もですかっていうか、座って休んでいいですか
死ね、ブータ。
Oh,
おめえ
wow.
俺の後ろで SP だろうが。
Wow.
ベンチに座んのは俺だけだ。遠野はそこまで気を許しちゃいねえからな。どうせそこで立ちんぼうだろ。
He saw right through me. Much like Noelle, this kid is far from ordinary.
じゃあまあ、こっちから確認だな。俺たちのことはどこまで聞いている？
吸血鬼退治の専門家だろ。アルクエイドは聖堂教会の代行者だと言っていた。
そうか。それだけ知ってりゃ十分だ。説明が省ける。俺は親父の代わりに派遣された新人でな。実のところ、この国の事情はまだ半分ってところだ。そこの三下は俺より早く調査していたがな。ただし独断。俺じゃなかったら、師匠だけでなくてめえも更迭されてたからな、ブータ。感謝しろよ。
They were acting on their own. Okay.
感謝しています。お坊ちゃん大好きです。
oh, just I love her like this. Mario, your subordinate is clearly mouthing off about you when you aren't looking.
俺たちの仕事は吸血鬼掃除だ。ただし標的は真相。アルクエイドじゃねえ。厄介な競争相手だが、あれと正面からやり合うほど万有じゃねえからな。で、姫様が追っている吸血鬼が何者なのか。
Mario's tone shifts ever so slightly. This is clearly no simple question, but I can't get a read on his intentions. I've got no choice but to answer truthfully.
ロアって名前ぐらいは上司タイプの吸血鬼で、もう何年も前からこの町に潜んでいるんだろう。
それだけしか姫様は口にしなかったわけ。こりゃ二重の意味で外れだな。遠野も知らないし、真相も知らない。それであの瞑想っぷりかよ。たく、真相に何があったんだ。精度が低いにも程がある。 隕石でも落ちてきたか？
いや、その
No. Oh, yeah.
それはきっと
Are you gonna say this? I can't bring myself to say it, but her current condition is definitely due to me killing her.
まあいい。も
Oh,
う
you
一
weren't.
体
Okay,
大物が
good.
来てたって報告もあるしな。眉唾だったんで後回しにしてたが、調査対象に挙げておくか。よし、確認はこれで済みだ。ここからは本題。てめえを呼び止めた理由。てめえが
This is
殺した
interesting
がってる
because
敵の話をしてやるよ。
because it's not CL telling us this, which I assume this is when we learned it from CL, it's a lot less personal for them.
司祭代行、それは。
Miss Noelle is gesturing feverishly behind him. This information must be highly confidential. And it's exactly what I'm dying to know about. Aside from his name, I still don't know a thing about the vampire we're facing.
俺は助かるけどいいのか、そんな話をして。
よくはね、機密事項だ。だがまあ、当のは当事者だし、異教とはともかく、無神論者は厚く遇するのが信条でね。いず
Wow.
れ大事な資金源になる。
You know what? No, I appreciate the hustle. No. I actually I appreciate this hustle more than if it was just out of the goodness of his heart. No, I get it.
その発言は協議に戻ります。警告。
黙ってろ。肝心な部分はモザイク入れるよ。
Oh my god. No wait, is Mario based?
姫君の稀なる協力者にレクチャーと行きますか。
No wait, hold up. Is Mario super based? Wait, I need to learn. I need to learn about him.
敵は古いタイプの吸血鬼だと言ったな。ってことは、奴らが不完全な不老不死だってことも聞いているな。
聞いている。使徒は人間の血を吸わなくちゃ体が保てない。けど逆に人間の血を吸っている分にはずっと老いずに生きていられるだろ。
そうだ。けどさ、それって結局不老不死とは言えねえよな。不老不死ってのは完全のイメージだろ。人間程度の血がなくちゃ生きていけない。血を飲まないと体が崩れていく生き物なんざ完全には程遠い。
それは
Sounds like a bunch of BS, I want to say, but he's not wrong. No one would dispute that vampires are superior to humans, but if they can't survive without ingesting blood, how are they any different from other organisms?
確かにどんな外的要因であれ死んでしまうのならそれは不老不死とは呼べないよな。
なんだとの話が早いな。隣座るか。有能なやつは好きだぞ俺。
He's not gonna.
結構だよ。けどそれがどうしたんだよ。欠点はあれ、吸血鬼は限りなく。こんな不老不死の定義がアルクエイドの敵についての話なのか。
ああ、ちょいと遠回りだがな。もうちっと我慢しろ。とにかく使徒と区別される吸血鬼の不老不死は不安定なものなんだよ。奴らの場合、単純に寿命が人間の数倍になったということだけだからな。
単純にって、あいつら寿命だけじゃなくて力とかも人間離れしてるだろ。
ああ、そこだ。使徒の固有能力は奴らが人間だった頃に手に入れたものをそのまま何百年と成長させたスキルに過ぎない。
I never considered that. You're not wrong.
奴らは自身が学んだものを吸血鬼になっても学び続け、結果としてそれが原理になっただ。
Huh. Okay. Alright.
原理。
その使徒の命題、生きる目的、死ねない呪い、
Okay, that's principle, yeah.
真の不老不死に至る
Makes sense.
唯一の道、これを原理結界、イデ
Idea
アブラッド
blood?
と奴らは呼んでいる。ま、一生かけても終わらない夏休みの宿題とでも思っとけ。
Okay, we got another 2-word proper noun to put into our brain.
この原理のため、使徒たちはそれぞれ全く別の目的で活動する。学んでいたものが一人一人違うからな。でだ、そんな人たちの中に真剣に不老不死を学んでいやがるクソ野郎がいやがった。
不老不死になったのに不老不死を研究していたっていうことか。
ああ、 使徒たちは吸血鬼になった時点でそれが人の身での不老不死の頂点だと自覚する。だがな、そいつはむしろ対価だと感じたらしい。こんな不完全なものはいらない。自分はもっと完全な不老不死を作り上げる。だが形がある以上、滅びは必然だ。
What is that meant to
時
be?
間の圧迫、細胞の摩耗、魂の型落ちはいかなる存在にも例外はない。生命は生まれ出た時点で死を内包している。自分がここにある以上、たとえ年を取らない肉体を持ってしまっても存在の死から逃れることはできない。死から逃れるということは死ぬということだ。この絶対の矛盾はどうしても解決できない問題だ。
そうだな。死は誰にだってある。ない奴がいるとしたら、それは
Its death would have to have never existed in the first place. Even Arcueid can be killed during the daytime. Nothing in this world could be entirely deathless.
ああ、存在の死からは逃れられない。そこでな、そいつは寿命を延ばす方法ではなく、死んだ後も自己が存在し続ける方法に目をつけた。それこそが不老不死だと開眼しやがったのさ。うちの教義にはねえが、輪廻転生ってやつだな。
It's so much not part of the church's doctrine that all the papers made refuting it can be turned into a weapon.
今の自分が死んでも自分を保存できたままで新しい人間としてやり直すことができれば、それは死を先駆けている。最も消滅していない時点で死とは言えない。死の先を行くというのは言い過ぎか。
輪廻転生って、つまり今の体が終わったらまた胎児からやり直す。
そうだ。そいつは存命している間、次の自分の肉体をあらかじめ決めておき、その赤子が誕生した時点で、そいつの情報はその赤子が成人ないし自己としての知性を持つまで影を潜める。そして自分を引き継ぐにふさわしい知性が育まれた段階で、その赤子はそいつになっちまうのさ。
Yeah, I'll say this. Whenever you go from like a fan translation to an official translation for something that's a detailed, intricate process or something that's complicated, like this or, you know, King Crimson's powers, I feel like the official... Oops, sorry, that's a hiccup. I feel like the official translation is always way more easier to parse than the nerd-written fan translation, because the fan stuff just assumes you're, like, of the same nerd caliber, which isn't right. Or it just says, you know, maybe not the best. But I like this, yeah, this makes perfect sense.
ちょっと待ってくれ。それって何か？まさか赤ちゃんが母親の中にいる時に手術をするのか？
いや、医学的な手段じゃない。そいつは今の肉体が滅ぼされた瞬間にあらかじめ決めておいた体に転生する。要は複写だな。さっきは全情報と言ったが、要するに電波みたいなもんだ。
How funny would it be to start a conspiracy theory where it's like, cell phones are transmitting liberal information into babies before they're born?
この場合、電波を発信するのも受信するのも人間の脳になる。そいつの優れたところはな、魂なんていう計測不能にして肉体という器がなければ無産してしまうものを伝達可能なものとして加工したことだろうよ。
The liberals are using 5G to send their liberal brains into new babies, making new liberals. Okay, leaving aside the question as to whether that's even possible, that would mean this person is born and raised as a human until one day they transform into a completely different person, a vampire. Wait.
マリオ。つまりそいつが。
I'm sorry. Just him saying that makes me think of like a Smash Bros trailer. just like imagining just imagine the Smash Bros symbol appearing and then it goes to this screen and then we just hear
マリオ。つまり
Shiki Toto slashes in, right? Like
ああ、そういうことだ。俺たち聖堂教会と 神祖の姫様が追っている吸血鬼。かつての名をミハイル・ロア・バルダムヨン。
I'm not calling him Mikhail. I'm using his anglicized version of the name.
今は赤社の蛇とも天性無限者とも言われる使徒だ。蛇は無限や循環のシンボルだからな。脱皮して新しい体になるってのはこいつにはぴったりの俗称だ。
それがアルクエイドの敵。
It's wild that the snake who sheds its skin, which creates immortality, is both an important thing for Fate and Tsukihime. A reincarnating vampire. The mere thought prickles my skin, but now I finally know what we're up against, despite Arcueid's reticence.
しかしここからが問題でね。姫様はもともと吸血鬼を殺すための装置だったんだが、ロアが現れてからは奴だけを執拗に追いかけるようになっちまった。ロアが今まで転生した回数は16回。そのことごとくを神祖は消滅させている。
ことごとく消滅させてるって。でもそいつは死んでもまた生まれてくるんだろ。
そうだ、ロアは神祖に殺され、その度に転生し、また神祖に殺される。そんな繰り返しをもうずっと続けてきた。その年数実に800年。あの姫様に相手の肉体ではなくその意味を消滅させられるような力があれば、あんなクソ野郎をのさばらせることもなかったんだがな。
Pure disdain seems to underpin every syllable of not just that sentence, but basically every sentence he says. Maybe I'm imagining it, but I get the feeling he has a thought or two about Roa that he hasn't mentioned out loud, when we probably won't hear about until the next, route.
話はこれで終わりか。なら
待てよ遠野、ここまでのはサービスだ。いい知らせと悪い知らせどっちから聞くってやつだ。もちろんここまでのはお前にとっていいニュース。ためになっただろ。
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
ああ、ロアってやつの情報は感謝してる。
I'm not sure why. I've got a creeping feeling that I shouldn't hear what's coming next.
あとちょっとだ。観念して聞いていけ。ロアの厄介な
Is
と
it
ころ
already starting to
は
be
そ
day?
の発見が極めて困難なことだ。何しろれっきとした人間の子供として生まれ、人間の両親がいるんだからな。ロアが吸血鬼として肉体と意識を変貌させるのは、ロアが満足に活動できる年になってからだ。そのためその人間は吸血鬼としての片鱗を全く見せない。そのくせロアとして目覚めれば、今まで培った人間関係を利用して完全に社会に溶け込みやがる。教会が異変に気がついた時はすでに手遅れ。一つの町がそのまま使徒になった後なんだとさ。
At this point, I can't even nod along as he tells his story. I'm frozen stiff. I really don't like where this is going.
どうした遠野、顔青いぞ。
いや、おかしいだろそれ。よくわからないけど、その話はおかしい。生まれた時は人間なんだろう。ならいくら前世の人格とやらが目覚めても体は人間のままなんじゃないか。
残念ながらの転生するのは人格ではなく魂だからな。一度神祖に血を吸われた人間はその肉体のみならず魂まで汚染される。ロアは魂という情報すべてを次の自分に引き継がせる。たとえ人間であろうと、ロアが目覚めた時点で肉体も吸血鬼に変貌する。だが遠野の言う通り、それではちょいとばかり弱い。転生先の肉体が平凡なものなら、その代のロアは無能な吸血鬼になっちまうからな。だからロアは生きているうちに転生先を決定しておく。転生先に選ばれる条件は2つ。1つは富豪であること。社会的地位も高く、財産も豊かな家の子供として生まれれば、町すべてを吸血鬼化させるのに便利だからな。
Which just make me think about, what's seal more into wealth?
そしてもう一つ、これが肝なんだが、人間の中にも特別な力を持つ輩がいる。魔術のような学んで習得する神秘ではなく、生まれついてその肉体が持ってしまう得意能力、一般に超能力者、鬼ごと差別されるもの。
That's the third typo? Paranormals? Those would be paranormals, right? And I definitely still prefer this to psychics. Because, let's be real, psychic has a very determined English meaning, and most of the stuff that they do are not psychic based.
得意能力ってのは肉体的なものだからな。家系、血筋で遺伝する。ロアは自分の新しい肉体にそういった人間ではないものの家系を選ぶって話した。富と名声があり、その裏で人間以上の力を持つ家系、それが転生先に選ばれる条件ってわけなんだわ。理解してくれたか、東欧の四季君。
Oh, the emphasis he puts on that. Dizziness overtakes me. The corners of Mario's lips curl into a sneer. Noelle's gaze is ice cold. There's only one family in this city that meets those conditions. I hear a hollow, dry noise. It's coming from me.
何言ってるんだお前。俺かアキハ、どちらかが吸血鬼だっていうのか。
いえ、今回の転生先は男子です。それは証言が取れています。権代のロアは遠野家の長男に間違いはありません。
What? I don't understand a word she's saying. But how much do they know? Doesn't that mean Arcueid's enemy is actually? There's no way. Can't be. If it's true, why hasn't she killed me yet?
そりゃロアの意識が出るまでそいつは人間だからだよ。だがまあどうにも風向きが違うな。そこの三下の報告は間違いだ。お前はロアの転生先じゃない。赤社の蛇は別の人間だ。
Okay.
はい。
Oh, did you not know? Wait a minute. After all that build-up, it isn't even me? Wow, this is quite different from the original, where they really played with the is it him for a lot longer.
はあ、私たちの報告書ちゃんと読んでるのかこの砂利書き。もう 100% 間違いなく当の式がロアンなのに。
100% だ。なら前提が間違えてんだよ、このお布施泥棒が。
Alms thief?
俺は悪名高き人間使いラウレンティス騎卿の秘蔵っ子だぞ。人を見る目だけはてめえにもてめえの師匠にも負けてねえ。
Oh, Laurentis is cardinal right now, not pope. Okay. Okay. Still, that means that eventually he'll be the pope's son.
何のために事情聴取したと思ってんだ。10分も話せば人となりもその心理も読み取れる。こいつはまあまっとうにイカれてるが同じくらいまっとうな人間だ。
I mean, you're not wrong, buddy.
吸血鬼の魂がプリントされた人間にこんな情けねえ反応はできねえよ。
Our conversation was just a ruse for him to determine whether or not I was Roa's host. I mean, I'm glad to be cleared of suspicion, but that just leaves me with more questions about this kid.
つまりどういう。
俺たちにてめえをどうにかする権利はねえってことだ。けどまあ全くの無駄話でもない。ロアはお前の関係者であることは動かねえしな。
The boy shrugs his shoulders and gets up from the bench. It appears he has zero interest in what happens to me after this.
ああ、どうしたさっさと行け。人の恋路の邪魔をして悪かったな。あの吸血鬼を追うんだろう。今のシンスは血に飢えた破壊衝動の塊だが理性ぐらいは残っている。自殺なんざおすすめできねえがま、止めるのも野暮だしな。
Okay, so I'm gonna be real. I've had a lot of time where I've had people say that Mario's like this super terrible character. And there is entirely a chance that we get to the other round and we learn that. But like right now, he doesn't seem like that bad of a guy. Bit of a mouth, but...
重ねて本気ですか師 歳代行、ミスミス吸血鬼の餌食を増やすなって。仮に彼がロアではないのならそれこそ保護すべきでしょう。あなたもあなたよ。さっき噛まれかけたくせにまだあの怪物の本性がわからないの？
Whoa. Noelle makes no attempt to hide her hostility as she blocks my path. I'm sure she must have her reasons to be so cold toward vampires, but her reasons aren't mine. She's not the only one with beliefs she refuses to compromise on. I really need to go after Arcueid.
そっちこそいい加減にしてくれ。さっきのはただの冗談だったんだ。
She's a funny vampire.
実は血を吸わない。
She's the funny
いい
vampire.
吸血鬼なんだから。
人を殺していないから善人ですって。笑わせないで。吸血鬼は人間にとってなんであれ悪なのよ。いいえ、人間でありたいと思うならあの枠組み自体を悪と区別しなくちゃいけない。それができない人間に人としての権利はないわ。人でないのなら私の排除対象です。よく考えて答えなさい。あなたはこれからどこに向かうの？
She urges me to pick between life or death. If I declare that I'm chasing after Arcueid, she'll swing for my head with all her might. Oh boy! I'm just gonna do it.
やめとけノエル。
It's not gonna matter, okay.
だいたいお前の技量じゃそのガキは殺せねえぞ。返り討ちに遭うのがオチだ。
はあ？なんで？
なんでって、そろそろピアノの影響が出る頃だからだよ。
Oh?
お前ね、あの姫様と打ち合ったんだぞ。1ヶ月は手足に力が入らねえから、まだ動けるうちに教会に帰っとけ。
Oh, it works the same way as, the ether light. Okay.
これ、体中がビリビリするんですけど。
Well, there she goes. Miss Noelle no longer blocks my path. Instead, she rides on the ground. Oh my god, you can hear her limbs flailing. That shouldn't be as funny as it is.
あとはそっちの問題だ。ノエルの発言は気にすることはねえが。まあ。
Oh,
帰れる
typo.
うちに帰っておくのが
Kind of.
人間らしい知恵ってやつだ。何もかもなかったことにできるのは、これが最後のチャンスかもな。
He never gets an answer. There's no more time to waste. In search of Arcueid, I bolt out into the night. Which is where we'll call this part. Because there was a lot to that. Save that one there. Do unto others. That's a strong one. That's a strong one there. Well, apparently that one leads to another scene. Will it be death or will it just be the same thing anyways? Who knows? We'll see. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time for some more. Let's read Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. We'll see you then for that, guys. Ciao. Yo.